The fact that this whole entire video, I keep saying complexion instead of collection is a hot mess. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Guys, this is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So today we are doing the makeup collection tag, and I'm excited because I'm talking about my collection, all the ins and outs. But let me go ahead and introduce myself before I get carried away. So if you're new to this channel, welcome, and if you're oldie but goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy and I love makeup. So that's how you get Dr. Ash and her makeup. But please just call me Ash or Ashley. And my favorite part of makeup is eyeshadow. If you've been here before, you already know. So real quick for my lock girls, if you are stopping by to see what my hair looks like, these are pipe cleaner curls that are about a week old. Loving it. First time doing it, was a little tedious, but it was worth it and lasts so much longer than my foam roller curls for sure. But I did not film this because I didn't know what I was doing, but I will film one for sure. But we're going to go ahead and get into the I keep saying eyeshadow collection, but it's not an eyeshadow collection. It's talking about my makeup collection. So I saw my friend Jamie do this video and I was like, yes, I want to do it. And honestly, I think I have done a video like this in my first year of YouTube. Way back in the catalog. Those videos, they're not scary, but they're a little scary. You know, they're not cringy, but sometimes they're like, it can be a little cringy. You know, when you look back at very old content or when I first started and I was trying to figure out everything. And she actually got this from her friend Queer Bones. So I'm going to link both of those down below. I have the questions right here on my phone. And let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so question number one is, how long have you been collecting makeup? So this is kind of a two-part question. So I've always been into makeup. My mother was into makeup, and I honestly started probably collecting makeup when I was around 16, 17. Actually, really kind of before that, because I don't know if you guys remember this company called Bonnie Bell. Like, she had all the kind of like childlike makeup, and she had the chapsticks and the lip glosses and some of the like eyeshadow crayons. So I actually used to do that in like 8th grade, 7th grade. Okay. So that would be like 97, 98. Okay. I'm dating myself here, 97, 98. But then if we fast forward on to around junior, sophomore year of high school, I got introduced into MAC Cosmetics. So now we're talking about 2000, 2001. I graduated from high school in 2002. Definitely collecting it. All the MAC pigments. I still have MAC pigments in my collection that you guys have seen. My very first MAC pigment, all the way from like 2001 or maybe 2000, I still have it. It was silver, reflex silver. I don't even think it was reflex silver. It was just silver, you know, literally. I mean, honestly, so I've been collecting makeup for a long time. So I would collect makeup, and then I started watching YouTube. I stumbled upon it. I wanted to learn how to fill in my brows when that became popular. And then I picked up collecting makeup again. So now we're talking about 2014, 2015, when I kind of got back into it, because prior to that, I was just buying things here and there. It would be from MAC. I would buy the Christmas collections as they would come out. People would give them to me, and I had like my MAC pigments, and I had shadows that I would use, but I wasn't like keeping up with the newest and the greatest and the releases and how I am now, for sure. And then I started watching YouTube, like I said, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it's a whole new world out here that we haven't even discovered, or I haven't discovered. And so I was buying things all the time. I was testing out things prior to me having a YouTube channel. And that's why I kind of know like what I like and what I don't like. And I know how to not waste my money on certain things, because I know it's not going to work for me, because I was doing that prior to me starting my YouTube channel, okay? So I learned to backtrack that quickly. Everything that I see on camera is not for me. I think like a lot of things have elevated since I've been on camera, as far as being geared to women of color or being able to work for women of color. So yeah, so like I said, it's kind of like a phase. So it's basically in 7th, 8th grade, I had all the little Bonnie Bell chapsticks, and then I started collecting again in 2000, 2001s, and then again like in 2014. So by the time I started YouTube, which was 2018 September, so it's actually kind of like my channel's birthday. That's I was really collecting makeup. I had a collection. I had a lot of palettes already when I started my channel. Okay, so question number 2 is, what kind of collection do you have? Do you have a minimal collection? You know this collection ain't minimal. Some parts of the collection are kind of minimal, but you know this is not a minimal collection. Utilitarian, aesthetic, historical, etc. So I feel like, I just feel like I have a big collection. I have a big collection. I have a lot of indie. Indie has kind of had my heart lately. I still dabble in some of the mainstream brands, but I don't have a minimal collection. I feel like I have a big collection. I feel like I have more makeup than one really kind of needs, and I have a smaller collection. Am I overwhelmed by my collection? No, by any means, but some parts of it I keep smaller because like eyeshadow palettes, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I don't buy as nearly as many as I was before. You guys can kind of track that when I do my end of the year videos. And we're kind of getting close to the end of the year vibe. So I've done really well with my palette count this year and what I've brought into my collection. But yeah, my collection, I have some historical things. Like I still have my Urban Decay Naked palettes that I would not put on my face. Like I have the Naked 1, Naked 2, and Naked 3. I might still have Naked Smoke. I've decluttered Naked Heat. Yeah, so I do have a few nostalgia things. I have the Moondust palette. Apparently, I don't know what's been going on with that lately, but I think the Moondust palette by Urban Decay is kind of making its rounds. I still have that in my collection. Like I said, I still have my MAC pigments from back in the day. So yeah, it's kind of a lot here. So there are some historical things, and then there's a lot of just kind of newer things. I feel like in a little bit, some of the Pat McGrath stuff, like some of the motherships, they'll still be present, but they'll be historical. You know what I mean? So number 3, it says, are you a completionist? Not really. I'm really not, unless it's like Mama Pat. And it's not with the 6 pans or the quads. It's really the motherships. It's the motherships. But like they get me every time, and some of them are my favorite, some of them are not, but they are just really special products to me. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, I got them right here. It's kind of like on this acrylic bookcase, and I like them. Even Mothership 11, was that 11? Yeah, that I try to talk crap about because of the pink. I've only used it a couple times, but I'm like, I still like it. But oh my gosh, if we could just get another Mothership like Decadence, or some blues and some greens, a water theme, I would be so happy. But we are not here for that. So am I a completionist? No, except for Mama Pat, basically. And it's only on the mothership side, okay? Like the big boys. So question number 4, it says, how do you store and organize your collection? So I think most of you guys know this. I'm not sure. I film in my bedroom. This is my vanity. Behind me, this is a newer vanity. I had a stint when I was in my kitchen when a pipe broke in the bathroom. That's literally right there. There's the wall. So I film in my bedroom. So I try to keep my collection like organized, tight, contained. So it's not taking up in my room. So like right now I have basically like a picnic table, card table type of folding table in front of me. I have like the mirror from the vanity that I will put right here, my close-up mirror, camera, and there's a light behind there. So as far as my eyeshadow palettes, I have 2 nightstands that, you just purchase. So one nightstand is just it's full of just makeup. Like the bottom is full of eyeshadow palettes. The top is full of eyeshadow palettes. Then on top of that, I have a mothership palettes with a lamp. And then I have a few small here. So I kind of do like that. I used to do, well, at first they used to just be in the bathroom in a drawer. And then it got bigger. And then I kind of did container store things. So now we've worked it out when I moved back into this room after the pipe breaking that is in the nightstand majority of my palettes. And then the top drawer is kind of just like backups of things. My lipsticks are down below here. I wish I had a better storage system for those. They are down here in acrylic containers. I really need to go through them. And luckily this vanity piece also has some storage. So my bronzers and my blush are here. And then I have one more, and you guys have seen this before. I have one more like Sterilite container in the corner that's gray off the side, and there's more palettes in there. And it's two deep drawers in that. And that used to be like my original storage system. So like I said, I try to keep things like tidy, not too much out of sight, not too much up here. It's just a few like kind of cute pieces, you know, like we got the Machino Bear, the Fenty lipsticks, some of the other lipsticks. Then my brushes are here. And I just have a few here because I forgot about them when they were in the other room. I was like, oh, let me bring them. And yeah, so that's how I keep my stuff. So like I said, I still want my bedroom to feel like my bedroom. So I just needed to kind of be neat and organized, and I can't function. I'm not like a neat freak, but I can't function if it's like in a total disarray. Okay. So it says number 5 is, what is your favorite thing about your collection? So eyeshadow. My favorite thing about my collection is my eyeshadow. So I would say it would be definitely my Pat McGrath palettes. Oh my gosh, I love them, especially the motherships. Then after that, I'm not a super single shadow type of person, but the single shadows that I do have, I love them, okay? My Terra Moons, my Glam Shop shadows, and yeah, Glam Shop and Terra Moons for the most part. Yeah, that's really what I have. Oh, yeah. Well, I said it, Glam Shop Terra Moons. So those are my favorite parts. I love my Adept palettes. I love my Oden's Eye palettes. Yeah, so the eyeshadow, literally, I think after the eyeshadow, I love a bold lipstick. So that used to be like some of my favorite things. I do have too many I got to weed out, but it's definitely the eyeshadow for me. It says number 6, it says, what is the least favorite thing about or something to improve your collection? So I think the thing that I love the most about my collection, I also don't like about my collection, is just like how many eyeshadow palettes I have. Because sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I gotta use them. So hence, you know, I do rotate them. Today I actually have on Giant Wolves. I didn't film this. I was going to film this, and then I had a whole lot of time, and then I didn't have a whole lot of time and before I had to get out the door. But this is what I'm wearing right now. So I love kind of just rotating my palette. So that is one of the least favorite things, because sometimes I have so many palettes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even possibly use all of these. So sometimes that gives me a little bit of anxiety. Well, I had the questions on my phone. Now I gotta go get them again because I have fooled around and deleted the photo or the little screenshot. So one moment. Okay, so question number 7, I've basically answered already. So it says, what is the biggest category of your collection? Eyeshadow palettes. And then after that, it would definitely be lipsticks. So question number 8, it says, what is the smallest category of your collection? So I would definitely say it would be, well, I don't feel like it's blushes. So it depends on how you want to group them, right? So I would definitely say, if we're talking about like a piece of the collection, complexion products. I don't have a lot of foundations at all. I literally have maybe like 5 or 6 foundations. And then after that, I would say bronzers. So I literally just kind of pan one bronzer, the Mented Cosmetic bronzer. Like I have a little bit around the ring, but it's so hard pan that you can't even really use it. So I'm like, it's done. Like the whole thing is just like literally around the circle. It's just that product, but the whole middle part gone. So I'm like, I just threw it in my empties thing. So after that, I would definitely say bronzers, because at this moment I just have my Juvia's Place bronzer. I have my 2 Pat McGrath bronzers. So we're looking at 3. I do have my Gucci bronzer, 4. And I might have like 1 other bronzer. So 5. So like I would definitely say like complexions. If you want to say concealers, that's pretty small too. So it depends on how you want to categorize them. But if you like just put it, I would definitely say just complexion products. I don't have a lot. I have oily, I don't have oily skin. I have dry skin. So something, I feel like a lot of times it's always like matte, 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 and that's not like what I'm going for. Today I have on House Labs, which I've really been enjoying, and I have on her concealer. So, but yeah, I would say definitely the bronzers, the foundations, the concealers, smallest parts. Number 9, it says, do you have a Holy Grail in your collection? I don't think I have a Holy Grail, but it would definitely be my Pat McGrath palette. And then I would say after that, like my Glam Shop, or kind of like what's kind of Holy Grail at the moment, because I'm like, I'll touch them, but won't touch them because I'm like, I love them, but I can't purchase from the brand anymore. I would say my Tammy Tenuka palettes. They are really, really great quality. I discovered the brand, and then all heck broke loose between Russia and Ukraine. So the brand doesn't support the war, but you know, she can't speak out. It's not like she has a voice. And then all the payments of everything have been cut off. So it's like, she's like, I'm not selling to anybody outside of the country. And she comes out with stuff, and I'm just like, it's so pretty, but I can't get it, you know? So literally the last collection that came out, we had already purchased it. And then she was like, well, I can't send it out through FedEx or UPS. She sent it out through Russian mail. Somehow I got it. So I'm thankful for that. So those, excuse me, are kind of like Holy Grails, because I'm like, I'll use them, but I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're so good, but I can't. And the mattes are like Pat McGrath quality. It's insane. Oh, and okay, if I want to backtrack to the smallest part of my collection would be my eyebrow pen. Like I have like 2. I literally have I have 3. I have my Goof Proof pencil that you guys always hear me talk about. I have an Anastasia pencil that I hardly ever use. And then I have a lip bar pencil. 3. That's it. Okay, so for question number 10, it says, do you ever wish your collection was bigger, smaller, or is it complete? Honestly, sometimes I wish it was a little bit smaller, but honestly, I do feel like it's kind of complete, honestly. Like I have only been bringing in things that I feel like can add value to my collection. Even as far as eyeshadow palettes, there's only so many eyeshadow palettes you can have. Like, let's case in point. Natasha Denona Yucca palette, right? I felt like the Yucca palette was really beautiful. It's up my alley. The color story, everything grungy, mustardy, green tones. You know, I love that. But when I look at my collection, I keep saying complexion. When I look at my collection, I literally have like 10 palettes like that. So it was really no use for me to spend the money on that particular palette. Does it mean that I'm not going to get a color story that's not similar to another one? No. But honestly, I feel like my complexion is pretty complete. The only reason I don't feel like it's A1 complete is because I don't have like a blue-green palette from Pat McGrath. Like I think about this sometimes, like what would make me just stop? Like you got enough palettes, I was like, literally, if I was to get like a couple, maybe 2, 3 motherships, like she could extend us out, you know, to maybe we're at 11. If she can give us just different type of color story, I would be done. I think I would be kind of like, okay, like I don't know if I have to buy anything else, and that's honest. Okay. No, and I would just be like replacing stuff as I need it, you know? So, because clearly, let's be honest, I'm like trying to go to question 11. I have enough eyeshadow where like at this point, I need to be changing out my eyeshadow looks like 3 times a day. And you know, I'm gentle on my palettes. Like this palette, it was circa 2021. It looks, you know, I don't dig into my palette, so I still have like, yeah. So honestly, if that was to happen, I'd probably be done. For real. Okay. Now, we have question number 11. How often did you clutter your makeup collection? So I kind of do the YouTuber thing, wait till the end of the year. Because some things I like to wrap up about. Now, what surprised me is I decluttered some things that I just bought. I was like, I couldn't return it. Waited too late. I'm tired of looking at it, whatever, you know? So honestly, usually I declutter my collection like once a year towards the end of the year because I like to do those wrap up videos like eyeshadow palette collection and declutter. I love doing those on my channel at the end of the year to see what my collection is looking like. So for the most part, one time a year. Number 12, do you ever get envious seeing other people's makeup collection? Honestly, no, I don't. I might have in like prior to me, you know, starting YouTube and watching, but now I feel like I have some really great things in my collection. I don't get envious. And some people have so much makeup, I'm like, ain't no way. It just ain't no way I can have all of that. Like, it's just too much. And I like to use my makeup and I like to wear the things that I do have. Everything that you see that comes through here, I make an effort to use more than once all the time, work it into like me using it. It's every once in a while you'll have a palette and like, dang, I haven't touched that in forever. Dang, I haven't, you know, I've only used it once. But pretty much, no, I don't get envious. It might be like one or two products. Now, if I was to come up on like a Kaleidos Deep Sea Luster, I'd be happy. That was like the one that got away because I was being responsible back in the day, and now they can't even source the palette. Other than that, 13, it says, who on YouTube has the best makeup collection video? I would definitely say the Fancy Face. Tina, the Fancy Face. She has a makeup collection of a makeup collection. Like, now she has a lot to me. She has definitely more than me, but I love her collection because she has like old school MAC. She has the Pat McGrath. She has indie brands. She has like high end. She has luxury. She has kind of like pro brands. She taught me so much about makeup getting in. And she was like one of my inspirations actually to start a YouTube channel. She's a woman in STEM. I think we're around the same age. I would love to meet her in person. So I watched her channel so much. And it's not that I don't watch her channel anymore. It's just like sometimes I don't have time to watch anybody's channel. I hate to say it. So it's like I'm watching it and doing something else. But I always do still watch her channel. And like her collection is gorgeous. It's just, it's nostalgic. It's current. It's practical. I don't know if you would call practical for how much makeup she has. I don't know if you call practical for what I have because literally a certain person just saw all the brushes. I had washed my brushes and they came over and they were like, so all these do different things. I'm like, yeah, but these are not even all my brushes. And they were like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. So practical is what you think is practical at this point because like I said, I have a lot of makeup, but I love the Fancy Faces collection. And I think Kelsey Brianna J, she just kind of started her makeup collection because I've been wanting to see that forever because she has so much stuff and she keeps the boxes to things, which is wild because like a boxes is hard. I can barely even open the box. So yeah, no. And question number 14 is, what advice you give to a future makeup collector? Okay, so if you are going to be a makeup collector, like this can just be expensive for no reason. Set a budget. Don't go broke trying to buy all this stuff. Buy things that you totally love. Buy things that you know you're going to like. Are you going to like everything? No. Sometimes you're going to try something, you're going to think you're going to like it, and it's going to be like, nope, trash. I mean, but it is what it is. But I feel like you should buy to your personal taste, not because of what everybody else is recommending on YouTube. Certain things are great, certain things are good, but they're just not for everybody. You know what I mean? Also, like, you know, get quality over quantity for sure. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean that you have to spend a lot of money, but you should definitely pick out quality products that are going to perform well, because at this point in my life, I can't wear no cheap makeup or no cheap looking or cheap performing makeup, okay? Because I could wear some cheap makeup as long as it performs well. But cheap performing makeup ain't gonna work for me. So sometimes you wanna make sure you invest more money in certain other things than just getting what's maybe, you know, the cheapest thing, because it might not be the best thing. So that would be my advice. But this video was fun. I love talking about my makeup complexion, my makeup collection. Clearly, I was about to make a joke about it and then just literally said complexion. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment down below, like, how big is your collection? When do you think you would just stop buying makeup? How do you think it's going to be complete? I promise you, I think about that so many times. I was like, what would just make me just stop? Like, what would make me be like, I am okay? Now, but I do love YouTube. So like part of it is like, could I ever really stop? You know, I'm kind of here for the long haul at this point. But yeah, I think that would make me be like, I'm good. I'm pretty content. So, but I'm content in my collection at the moment. But that's the one thing I'm not content about is that pad. Can we get some blue, green, purple color stories? Leave the pinks and the mauves somewhere else. Okay. All right. But leave me a comment down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Hit the notification bell so you know when I come out with another video, which will be soon. And subscribe to my channel because you know I would love to have you here in my little makeup family. And with all of that being said, you already know what time it is. It's time for the chair dance. Chair dance. Ay, ay, ay. Chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Ay. All right, y'all. Bye.